While we're standing, close your eyes. I want to go ahead and pray. Father, we thank you tonight from whom our blessings flow. Thank you that your spirit is in this place. Lord, I thank you tonight that our preacher really big God. Thank you, Father. And preach a very small devil. Thank you, God, for that you continue to show yourself strong in every area of our lives. God, we're believing and we're acting on what we believe in, God. I thank you for growth in our faith. Thank you that we have a new faith walk. Thank you for the power, God, that only comes from you. Wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Our God is an awesome God. Oh, we thank you, Father. Now, Lord, have your way in this place on tonight. Oh, God, bring word fresh from the north, south, to the east and the west. Lord, I thank you that no one leaves this place the same way they came. Oh, cleanse us, God, from the inside out. Anything that troubled us, worried us, Lord, that tried to make us downtrodden, we rebuke those things right now. Oh, God, we call those things which be not as though they were. We're more than conquerors this morning to the pulling down of strongholds, God. I thank you, God, that you keep on trusting me. Oh, I thank you, Father, for allowing us the opportunity to be triumphant, God. For who the Son has set free, who the Son has set free, who the Son has set free, yes, who the Son has set free. We didn't do it by ourselves, we needed some help. Who the Son has set free, it's free indeed. Yes, now if you free tonight, put your hands together. It's free indeed. Oh, I'm free tonight, baby. I'm free tonight. I'm free indeed. Tell a neighbor tonight, say, hey, I'm free indeed. God bless you, praise him. Yes, I'm free indeed. Yes, I'm free indeed. Say it. Walk with James, Christian maturity. That's a walk with James, Brother James, Christian maturity. As you stand, I'm going to read tonight. Just the first part of James tonight. James chapter 1, verses 2 through 8. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds. Some of y'all feel like it just don't stop. You pray for one thing, and by the time that's over, something else is already trying to overtake you. By the time you get tired of being teed off about this, now you're mad over this. By the time you get this back on track, it seems like Satan has already pushed this off track. When you finally got an umbrella, now it's too hot. I mean, it's always, it seems like many trials, amen, of many kinds. Because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Yes. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be what? Mature and complete. The problem is some of us walking around half-cocked. You can praise, but you can't worship. Yeah, you can laugh, but you can't cry. You can be distorted, but you can't have peace. You're in a dark place and don't want to get in the light. Yeah, you have cocked. But let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. If any of you lack wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all within finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, I want you to hear this, you must what? Believe and not doubt. You must believe and not doubt. Because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea being blown and tossed by the wind. Verse 7 says that person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Not some things. He said, if you start down, don't expect to believe. You won't get anything. Don't start believing that you're going to receive. You're not going to receive. That's what he says over in the text. Verse 8 says, such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. We got some bipolar Christians walking. James wants us to walk with him to ensure that we come out of bipolarism. Yeah, and start walking with a strong mind and a pure heart. Tell a neighbor tonight, Christian maturity. Yeah, that's the wrong one. Tell somebody else. They didn't really want to be here. Yeah, there you go. Now put your hands together. Amen. You can have your seat to stand up and get rolling. Amen. Maturity is having reached the most advanced stage in a process. Developing fully. Have you ever started something and you finally got to the conclusion of it? So some of you don't even know what it's like to taste success. You can't mature if at some point there's not an end. At some point I have to taste success. James is saying right here, he don't care what people say. He's watching what people do. He's all about movement. He's about action. You have to show, Brother James. James really said, I just wanted to see a replica of myself. My brother had to show me, and now I'm sold out to the point that I'll be the first disciple to die the death of my brother Jesus. Though I didn't walk with him. I was still noted to become an apostle at some point because I believe. And it doesn't matter if you was in this church when it first started or you just started going to this church. If you believe right now, you're ahead of 3/4 of the people in the church. Don't care where you came from, how much you've been speaking in tongues and shouting, and you didn't have no belief, you're a dead man walking. He said you're like a ship tossed to and fro in the wind, in the waves. Because we just refuse to believe. We can't have faith because we don't even get beyond belief. We can't even encourage ourselves and tell ourselves that we're great. If you don't see greatness in you, you should always, thank you, Holy Ghost, you should always be a preview, see a preview of yourself.
All right.
You should always see a preview of yourself. If you don't see success, how you going to walk with James? You have to see yourself. You know how people go to the movies? The preview. People become so enticed with preview. When I got over the Lion King and saw it this time, I liked the Lion King, but it was the same Lion King again. You know what got me? The previews. The previews got my money because I was excited by what I saw. And then they put the music to it, and I'm already a lion addict. Me and my wife go in the middle of the day. Just sitting there with all old people, Jeff. That's what we do. We go, you want to catch us on a Tuesday or Thursday. We had the movie probably about 2 o'clock. I'll take the lunch break for the rest of the day and go to the movie. Pray for you, Pastor. Preview. How many of you see yourself in such a way that you get excited and anticipate on what's to come? That's all James is saying. He's saying in this thing right here, you got to see yourself. You got to be looking there. You got to wake up at night. Whoa! I saw myself walking down the aisle. Whoa, that dress was nice. I had that dress short. I ain't trying to wear no train. That dress was short. Honey, I was so glad I wanted to be free everywhere. But the problem is we cry and whine when we should be creating a preview of what's to come. I see a preview of what this church is going to be. I'm excited. I see it coming, and this is the foundation. These are the people here who are going to take all the beatings. This is the foundation. Read your Bible. When this church really take off, it won't take long. What takes long is solidifying the foundation. He had to get all us right first. Not y'all, So then when it grows, the foundation will be so strong, it won't break. We won't get ahead of ourselves because them chairs over at the school humbled us. Sweeping and keeping them nasty bathrooms humbled us. But I kept telling myself for a long time, I saw us moving. It was only at the end that I felt like the credit tag went up. When I just got tired, I was like, Lord, where are you? But for the most part, I saw the preview of where we were going. And as soon as we moved here, I saw the preview of how long we're going to be here and where we're moving. I'm excited by the preview of what's happening. James is trying to tell us in the text that when you start walking with him and then you start putting your actions out front, then you too can not only expect, but you can see. God called it vision. I can see greatness. I can see my business. You ought to see yourself down there signing checks. I'm signing checks. Stack of checks. Just sign them. Here you go. Musicians everywhere. Just stack them. Just sitting around like at the warehouse. Just waiting on their check. They don't even want them in the envelope. You got to see yourself. You got to see a preview of what's to come. And you need to start telling people, baby, this is just a preview of what's to come. You think I got it going on now? You ain't seen nothing yet. You haven't seen nothing yet. He says in the Bible, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, neither has it entered the heart of man the great things that God has in store for you. So why you don't walk around? It's the preview. Girl, you wearing that hair today? That's the preview. You wait till after Christmas to see what I come in here with. Preview. They'll laugh then until they see how pretty you look for real, and then they're going to start trying, where'd you get that from? How tight. The preview. How do we mature to the place to where we quit seeing where we are and start focusing more on where we're going? When do we mature to the point to where we don't allow our past to weigh us down? If our past is going to do anything, it's going to encourage and motivate us. When I look at where he brought me from, I can truly say that I am blessed because where he brought me from gave me a testimony. When we start really to get to the point where we start being Christians and how we start really curtailing and tailor-making our character, we'll use all these things that what the devil meant for evil. We'll turn those things around for our good. But you got to be somebody of action. You can't just sit on there and suck your thumb all the time. You got to get to the point where you say, I'm tired of being where I am. Now, tired of being where you are doesn't mean I got to have a new car. Or it don't mean I got to have new this and that. Sometimes the greatest tired in the world is when you look at yourself and realize how filthy you are on the inside. Or how hollow you are on the inside. When you start talking to yourself and see those type of things, I'm hollow on the inside, that's when change comes. That's when you can start previewing, because you say, you know what, it ain't going to be no tomorrow, and it ain't going to be this the last time, because the last time gets us in trouble. The last time means we will forever continue to do. Last time subtracts stopping. Last time encourages eternal. Because as long as I say last time, there'll never be. Fridays keep on coming. I have to realize that it ain't Friday, it's me. It's me. It ain't the day of the week. It's me. Because I'm the one who has to consent to what I do. I have to give me permission to make the decisions that cause me to look like I do now. I'm not mature as I want to be in Christ because my decisions, though I'm 50 years old, are the parallel to a 17-year-old. And then you get mad when young boys call you by your first name. Men, because you haven't given them a preview of what a man looks like. See, they've never seen you. They know you're married, but they ain't never seen you hold your wife's hand. They don't like this. I better go on. Let me get over here by my family. Let me get over here and be right. You want everybody to think that you're a man and that you enjoy your marriage, but they never even see you treat your wife like you should. You don't even kiss your wife on the jaw in front of people. You kiss a mother of the church. On her jaw, how you doing, mother? God bless you. And then your wife, oh, poor wife. And then you get mad when people don't talk about you and your marriage in a good way. You haven't given us a preview. The problem there in relationships is that women don't give previews. They throw the whole movie at you from the beginning. Baby, everything's free today. Ain't no discount. Just come on. They bypass the previews and they give him everything and get mad, elder, when he don't give them nothing in return. Now they hold every man hostage because of a decision they made. Tell somebody previews are necessary. I don't know why people try to dive in. I really want to get into this like a marriage thing, but I don't know why people rush into stuff. When you rush into stuff, you miss something. Be careful when you go to church. You miss something when you rush because we don't understand the value of patience. We don't understand the value of patience. The Bible says that patience have a perfect works. Patience is the cousin to perseverance. Persevere means I got to keep moving when I don't want to, when it's time. And he said, and have patience while you do it. Wait on me while you continue to persevere. So as long as I'm persevering and I keep moving, now I got a preview. Because I'm sure I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I know every step I take is a step farther than where I was. Every step I take is a step farther than where I was. The problem that we get caught up in is this, Sister Barry, every step we take, we want to look back. He tells us, looking back, you ain't worthy. Ain't nothing behind you. Keep going. I'm just going to keep on moving. I like how they said it about John Henry. Y'all, anybody know about John Henry? John Henry was a black man that was a strong black man. Strong John Henry. John Henry was a man with a hammer in his hand. Yeah, that's John Henry. He never looked back. John worked himself to death. But you know what people say? He worked himself to death.
Yes, he did.
People are going to say, you crying yourself to death. You sadden yourself to death. Maybe there's somebody in here tonight who say, I regretted myself to death. Good God Almighty. Somebody sitting out there tonight say, I regret myself to death. I wish I wouldn't have never. And I'll let you finish it. Whatever your never is. Some people are regretting themselves to death. You're regretting, and every time you regret, you're looking back and you're never moving forward. That's not maturing. Maturing is when I'm able to deal with a situation, a circumstance, or what have you, learn from it, and keep moving. Sometimes you ain't going to look good after you come out them battles with yourself. You don't look good. You ever seen somebody who in rehab and how they look crazy, hair be sticking everywhere they go. But it's a beautiful thing when they come out. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. We don't understand tribulation. See, tribulation is a cause of great trouble or suffering, anxiety, hardship, tragedy, setback, issues, and problems. Those are tribulations. We don't like the tribulation sandwiches. But really, the tribulation sandwiches give you so much nutrition. Because what you go through don't kill you, it makes you stronger. So you should be looking, where's my next tribulation? Where's my next trial? What you got next? I like how Paul said it. Paul said, I was glad when I was afflicted. He was looking for his next trial or tribulation because it took Paul a while. But Paul had to understand that what I went through made me who I am. If he would have never, God would have never allowed me to be blind for 3 days, I could have never seen in the spirit. If he would have never let me kill people, slaughter, have massacres because people didn't believe, I would have been the leader I was in the end, trying to draw people to believe. He had to go blind to see. He had to go blind to see. Some of you have to go broke to become wealthy. You got to hit rock bottom to appreciate your credit. You don't appreciate credit till you can't use it. That's how you mature. I look at my situations and I don't allow my situations to start becoming the author of my story. Your situation too many times become the author of your story. You got to tell that situation, shut up. I'm the author of my faith. You shut up. And get out. Put your situations out. You let them ride for free. And they're keeping you from being a mature Christian. They're causing you not to grow. You make excuse all the time about what you probably should be doing versus what you're doing. I didn't make it to church Sunday. I just couldn't, mature. Your decisions have caused you to train your mind that work supersedes church. I won't miss work, but I won't go to church if I'm halfway tired. But I go to work. At the bus stop. Waiting on the bus. Where you headed, Joanne? I'm going to work. And then on Sunday, the only time you see Joanne, she's walking up the Little Giant. Got something to eat. She coming on back. Where you going, Joanne? Headed home. Why you ain't go to church? I'm tired. We don't fool with God a lot of times because we're afraid of suffering. We don't fool with God a lot because you're scared of tribulation. When you really break this thing down, people in the church don't fool with God because they're afraid to fight for Him. When you're not afraid to fight for God, you don't care what the enemy throw at you. David said it in the Bible. He said, why y'all letting this uncircumcised Philistine sit over there and yell like that? But you know what it was now? This is amazing because David was a lad. These were soldiers. But here's the ticker. These guys, his brothers and all these other soldiers representing Jerusalem, they had been trained to fight. They had been trained to fight. David had on-the-job training for fighting. God let David start fighting things bigger than him when he was a young boy. So when he grew older, he wouldn't turn away from those things that his father had taught. Train up a child in the way they should go. God had to train David. He said, if I train him while he's young, when he grow old, he's going to be beast mode for me. That's what he was. He was a beast. They had issues. He was a beast in too many areas, but he was, he beasted with the women too. He was a beast now. He had a reputation. People won't talk about him out loud, but he had a reputation. He was trained when he was a lad to fight things that were stronger and bigger than him. So though these men were trained, they were trained by men, these soldiers, David was trained by God. Yes. You trained by man, David trained by God. Your friends telling you what the world say. You sitting over here saying this is what God said. The world will turn its back on your friends. God will never leave you. God is still closer than any brother because God is training you up to fight greater giants. When you mature enough, God puts you in the ring. So if you want to know where you are in life, look at who you're in the ring with now. Who am I fighting now? Why am I fighting this same thing again? Some of y'all been fighting this same thing too long. But you won't learn from the fight. You won't learn. So therefore, you're not building your character to the point where God can trust you to put you in a higher class. So you're fighting youngsters when you should be leading brigades. You fight in your house when you should be leading. You going over small stuff that you should be able to just speak to that in that mood, but you stay right there with that because you haven't matured. Your thinking hasn't matured. So you think and get mad over the same old stupid stuff. And the devil will be like, I ain't got to worry about them. They're self-destructive. Let me go over here to this one we're trying to get right. You are where you are spiritually because of the decisions you're making. Yeah, not the ones, because some of you come to church, pay your tithes, y'all great at that. But you're not praying like you should. See, it's the behind the curtain training that makes us. It's the things behind the scenes that make us. See, all we see is the preview. They see the preview. They don't see what you went through to get to that preview. They don't see how I made this preview. It took me a while. I had to get a crane. I had to get some people to go ahead and start getting a camera. I had to do all that stuff. All you see is the finished product. Look at me. Yeah, I see your scars. I don't see your growth. You stay in one spot too long, and you might die. Tell somebody, keep moving. You got to keep moving, man. This thing dealing with a person's character is the sum of their thoughts, their intentions, desires, and actions. A person's character, your character is the sum of your thoughts, your intentions, desires, and actions. You can't get away from actions. Mother Claudette, we can't get away from the actions. But what about the intentions? The sum of your character is predicated off of your intentions. Why you do what you do? Conniving, make people think you like them today. It's all a setup. You don't like them. You just got a little money in your pocket. You get a little money in your pocket, speak to everybody. But what are your true intentions? Backstabs. What are your true intentions? Look people dead in the face and lie. Friends. Look right at him and lie. Girl, you look nice. What are your intentions? Don't mean you tell her she's looking nice and she smells good because you need a ride. Sister Diane, that's the only reason they tell me intentionally. They don't care nothing about how they look. They know they really don't look that good. Should have told them you should wear them shoes. But I just need a ride. I just need to ride up the street. So I'm going to tell you whatever I need to tell you to get to where I need to be. Character is gauged by general tendencies. I want you to hear this. Character is gauged by general tendencies, not on the basis of a few isolated actions.
Oh my God. Wow.
You have to be careful when you're judging people. You have to be careful because people will make it look good on the outside and they're riding on the inside. You have to be careful when people come to you and you're like, that's too good to be true. It probably is.
It probably is.
It probably is. It probably is. Every man gonna need a little work, ladies. The perfect one gone. The perfect one is on the cross. He's gone. The rest of us gonna need a little work. We can develop character by controlling our what? Thoughts. We can develop character by controlling our thoughts. Turn to Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. You got to say amen. Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. He's telling us what we need to think about. He's telling us right here what we need to think about. He's telling us right, this is what we need to think about right here. Think about things, whatever is noble, whatever is right, righteousness, whatever is right. Think about the things that are right, not the things that are wrong. Oh, I'm going to get them. Revenge is mine. Oh, you ain't seen that yet. They don't know me. Don't want to know. You ain't got no power. This is the power right here. This is what we don't realize. The great people in Allende, man, I'm telling you, Gandhi, Dr. King, they all was preaching this same text right here, Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Whatever is noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable, anything that is excellent and praiseworthy, think on those things. That's what they were preaching right there in Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. You got it right here in Bible study. But that's what they were preaching. Because they knew that the true power and true character came from what you can resist. Can I continue to do right when wrong is trying to strangle me? Can I continue to have faith when everything looks dark? Can I continue to speak love even when I'm hot? Or the cussing just come out? We all need prayer. We all need it. It's something that trigger all you in here. Got you speaking all kind of crazy. When you do it then you feel bad. Lord, forgive me. I fell short. The pillars of character, a Christian's character. There's a redwood tree out west. A towering redwood tree stands tall. It's the tallest tree on the planet. And what makes this tree so tall is the fact that the redwood tree is so tough because it can adjust to 3 different types of climates. Thank you. This redwood tree. But most people, when they look at this tree, this is the biggest tree and largest tree in the world. And they say what makes this tree so successful is the fact that this tree can endure 3 different types of climates. But most people don't, so they look at this tree and look at the length of it. Look how tall it is. The wise man looks at the root of it. Because they say that the root from this tree travels so far, you don't even see what holds the tree together. You see right here on the top where it starts. But what really matters is what goes under the dirt. And how the tree, the roots go so far, so many feet in all directions. It wants to ensure that the foundation is stable enough so that the tree can mature. So every day that tree lives, another root grows. Every day that tree lives, the longer the roots extend. It knows that the more we extend, the taller it will become. But not even that, the stronger it will be, and the more it can withstand. If you can't extend, if you can't refrain, or if you can't deal with pressure, heat bothers you spiritually, what kind of roots you got in the ground? Do you just frizzle out all the time when something goes wrong? What type of roots do you have in the ground? Because the roots in the ground assures you that I may sway, but I ain't gonna fall. Yeah. I got any Christians who like that in here? I may sway a little bit. When the wind get to blowing and the turbulence come and the trials and tribulations, they may make me, and sometimes I've been in ways I ain't even been in. But I ain't gonna fall. Oh yeah, some of the leaves may roll off. I might be bald-headed now. I gotta get gray-headed. I can't wear what I used to wear, but I ain't gonna fall. Might not be able to buy name brand bread, but I'm gonna eat. Yeah, we're gonna eat. They ain't got many clothes, but what I got, they clean. I ain't got the best car in the world, ain't got Apple, I do good in the winter. I was leaning, but I didn't. I do everything I got to do before 10 o'clock in the morning. I mean, know what I'm talking about. Yeah, your air conditioner ain't working. You change your whole culture. You up at 5, 6:30 in the morning. I got to be the Sam's when the door open. I got to be there when they open. I ain't got no air in the car. I got to catch that breeze on the way back to the crib. I can't get the stuff I just bought milk. Therefore, they don't like this more. And I tell you the truth. The roots on this tree covers more than an acre. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that these roots are the symbolic symbol of God. God is our foundation. God is our roots. And though people can't see them, and sometimes we can't see them, know that those roots are there. And they say that this tree, an acre. These roots. Now, I can't see all the roots, but it's evident they're there by the size of the tree. And you notice the tree leaning just got a little bit of lean to it. That's the gangster lean. When you've been through storms and you still standing, oh, you don't get a lean? When God brought you out of something and you thought you weren't going to make it, you don't get a little hope in it. It's the same with the tree. When you go through something, it changes your perspective, it changes your character, it changes your culture, it changes your walk, it changes your mindset, it changes your thought, it saves my soul. So I walk different now. What's going on, baby? Yeah, because I'm assured that I don't see it, but I know He is my root. He is my fortress. He is my salvation. Whom shall I fear? He's my light in a dark place. Those are roots. He's my protection even when I'm scared. Those are my roots. He's my conscience when my mind gets to spinning crazy. He's my root. I don't see him, but I know he's there. He said he'll never leave me, nor forsake me. So if there's one thing I'm assured of tonight, Rachel, God got me. There's one thing, I don't care what it looked like, Albert, God got me. The Bible says on the solid rock I stand. So if you're standing on a solid rock, you ought to stand up, put your hands together and say, I'm still standing. I'm standing strong. I ain't wavering. I ain't doubting. I'm moving in the Lord. Put your hands together. We must realize that the workshop of character is everyday life. The workshop of your character is everyday life. How you live every day, how you make adjustments, how you keep it moving. Your everyday life is the workshop for your character. So you have a chance every day to get better. And we make mistakes sometimes. Let me say this. We all make mistakes. Don't allow your mistake to make you miserable. Get back up. It seemed like you failed, but someone was holding you. That something was the mighty hand of God, because God knew if they fall, they might not get up. So I got to step in. Why do you think he sent the gift called the Holy Ghost? The Holy Ghost comes, and when we try to fall, it holds us until it can help us get back up, and we feel better. Now, Lord, I was down I've been crying for a week. I've been sad for a month. I've been depressed for 2 weeks. I didn't realize I was leaning that long. I've been praying the same prayer for 6 months. I didn't realize I had been praying the same prayer for that long. God will get you up. When you start leaning, the greatest thing you can do is, no, I'm not going to fall. Just because you hear a no don't mean you fail. Come on. When you hear no, it means God got something greater in store for you. I didn't get the loan here. God said, no, because I got one over here for you. But while you're coming, I'm going to work with patience. Let patience have a perfect work, yes. And persevere along the way. Yeah, I know people talk about he ain't got a house yet. That's okay, baby. Keep moving. Keep moving. God said, but when you get over here, I'm going to bless you in such a way that people don't see it and still won't believe it. Do I have any amenters in here? Well, put your hands together and let God know that you come home to roost. Lord, I'm coming home. Tell him I'm coming home. God, I'm back. I'm back, God, I'm back. Tell him you're back. I'm back, God, doing it through. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Everybody hold hands. Come across the aisles, hold hands. Ministers, if you can anoint everybody where they stand for me. Thank you.